Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another week of math. This week, we are going to be looking at data, or data, however you want to call it. And we are looking at measuring data using graphs, as well as lists and tally marks. Okay, so today you're going to learn about tally marks and lists, as well as line plots. That's your first kind of graph that we're going to show you. So I'm just going to share my screen here for you. Now, the first thing that you are going to be talking about is tally marks. Now, tally marks are something that you should be familiar with. Okay, you've learned about them in grade 1 and grade 2. And all you need to know for tally marks is that 1 equals 1, 1, 2 equals 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, if you can see where I'm going, 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 4. 5 is tricky because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 5. Okay, so for each one mark or 1 point or 1 person, you would put a line. Now, when you get to 5, you put a cross. So if we do that again, just so you can see it. So remember, 1 equals 1, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 5. So if I had 10, it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That equals 10. And basically, you're just putting them in groups of 5. So if you had 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, that equals 20. So they only go in groups of 5, and those are your tally marks. Tally marks, straight lines, except for 5, where it goes across. And that way, you can actually just count in groups of 5. So by doing this, it's really easy to count. So if I just had this row here, okay, and if I was going to count them right here, then I know that I would have, and I'll use a different color so you guys can see it, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Because counting in 5s is super easy for us because we've been practicing it for so long. So that is how we do tally marks. So I am going to show you guys some examples of the lists and tally marks that you will make. So here we have our list. Now, a list is really easy because we know what a list is. We've made them before. So here we have a list of sports. Now, a question that you could ask for this one could be, what sport do you play? Now, all of the kids in the class answered the question. Okay, maybe they were allowed to answer more than once, we don't know, but they all answered. So here we should have 5, which we do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Here we have 10, 5, 10, good. 4, 1, 3, and 7, okay? So we have the 5 plus the 2 lines, okay? So we're using the list and the tally marks together to come up with how we collect and organize data. So we made a list of all of the possible answers that we could have, and then we had the tally marks that represent each of the students. So here is another example. Let's just get rid of this writing. So here we have a bunch of animals. So this could be, what kind of pets do you have? Okay, that could be the question. Since we're seeing lots of animals on here, so we have dogs, cats, goldfish, budgies, which are birds, and hamsters. So those are the list of animals. So we've come up with our list. And then we have our tally marks. So here we have 5, 10, and 12. Okay, so that's 12. 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So remember, each line equals one thing, and when we see it crossed like this, that equals 5. Okay, so 5 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 5 plus 5 plus 2. That is all you need to know about tally marks and lists. Okay, I will show you your work that you're going to be doing today, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about tally marks and lists. Super easy, shouldn't be too much of a problem for you guys. You're pretty smart. So the next thing that you are going to be learning about today are line plots. Now this is an interesting way of graphing as we move into our graphing. And basically each X represents how many of each thing there are. So here, if you said, what is your favorite color? One person chose red. 1, 2, 3, 4 people chose blue. 2 people chose purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 people chose green. Okay, so the X just represents the number of people. So you don't have to make a list or a tally points or tally marks, okay? You are just going to graph it. You're going to make your own little graph and just level up. And then every time you put an X, you can just see how many people have chosen that. And it makes it really easy to look at visually. So you can just look at it, kind of like when we did fractions, and you could see which ones were bigger and which ones were smaller, because they obviously had more colored in. So here we know that the most one, favorite color, is green. And I can look at the map, look at this plot, and see that it's green because it's the highest, okay? So let's go on to another one. Okay, so here we have another one. Now here, you have the information that you've collected in your list, okay? So there's your list. There are your tally marks. And all you're gonna do is take that information and put it into a line plot, okay? So here we had 3 ribbons that were 6 inches. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ribbons that were 7 inches, 2 ribbons that were 8 inches, and 1 ribbon that was 10 inches. Now looking at it, I know that 7 was the most common. It came up the most, so because it is the most in its row. So I know just by looking at this line plot that it has the most, okay? So when it comes to graphing, you can visually see it, which one has the most, and I know that 10 was the smallest. So you can just see it very clearly. Now up next, let's go on to the next one and see what we have here. So somebody asked all of the kids in their class how many hours of exercise they do. Now, obviously, we're stuck at our houses, so it's a little bit tricky, but what they did was they have their legend, okay? You know how much Miss K loves a legend. So 1 person equals 1 X shape. I know it's not very clear, I'm sorry. So 3 people in the class did 0 exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people did 1/4, so that's 15 minutes, okay? 1/2 is 30 minutes, 3/4 is 45 minutes, which we learned from time. So 4 people did 30 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people did that. 3 people did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and 2 people. So if I was looking, most people in the class did 15 minutes of exercise, but the rest of them, maybe the second highest was 45 minutes, okay? The lowest number was 1 hour each. So that is just some ways that you can basically organize and show all of your data, okay? One more just to show you again. So remember, if you had notebooks in your desk, we would put an X here, okay? If you had maybe 3 people had books in their desks, so I put 3 X's, okay? 2 people, 3 people. So the number of X's on your line plot, that is how many people. So 1 X equals 1 person, 1 X equals 1 hour, 1 X equals, I don't know, 1 hot dog, okay? That's what we're trying to show you. So I'm gonna show you your work for today, just so you can see it and get started on it. So first up, we have page 104 and 105. Now for question 1, it's pretty easy because you just need to tell me what question you think she asked. So this goes back to our tally marks and our lists. So all you're going to do is answer that question. So you're going to come up, I guess you're going to come up with a question that she asked. So if she was asking about Pinocchio, Goldilocks, Cinderella, Snow White, or other, I wonder what question she could have been asking. Okay, so you're going to answer number 1, and then you're going to tell me how many people she asked by counting either the tally marks or the number of children. Super easy. For page 105, you are going to figure out how many kids have never been on a train. So you're going to look at the list where it says 0 times on a train and see how many kids have never been on a train. And then you're going to figure out how many children were asked. So again, you need to count this number here for number 2, okay? For number 3, you are also going to answer that question. Carlos asked his classmates this question: are you right-handed or left-handed? And then he made a list. So how many children are left-handed? You're just going to count in this list, okay? How many more children are right-handed than left-handed? You might have to do some subtraction. And you do not have to answer C or D. So just A and B, okay? And you're not going to do the stretch your thinking today unless you desperately want to. That's up to you. So that is page 104 and 105, which is working on tally marks and lists and just kind of learning how to read them. And like I always say, if you have questions, please let me know and I'll be able to help you. So if we look at the next page, this talks about our line plots. Now this one you don't have to do all of the questions because some of them we can't do. So you're going to start with number 1 on page 106. How many children have 3 brothers and sisters? Now remember, you are going to look and see the number 3 at the bottom. There it is. And you're just going to put in, you're going to count the X's. Remember, 1X equals 1 person, and that's where you put your answer. Next up, you have what is the most number of brothers and sisters for any child? So which one is highest? Now looking at it, I can see one line or row that is actually column. Get it right, Ms. K. I can see one column that is higher than the rest. I wonder if you guys can find it too. And then you just put that in. How many more children have 2 brothers and sisters than 4? So again, you're going to compare this one to this one. And just tell me how many more children have 2 brothers and sisters than 4. Now, number 1, we're not going to do because that's way too complicated. If we were at school, you would have to do it. But not today because you're at home, so you can't ask all of your classmates. If you would like to ask your parents and do that, your parents, maybe your siblings, anyone who lives in your house, you can go for it, okay? I might give you bonus points if you do that. But you do have to answer number 2. Okay, and again, I'm not gonna make you do that one unless you desperately wanna do the stretch your thinking, those are bonus. So here we have, Roberto made a line plot to show the number of teeth his classmates have lost. What is the most number of teeth lost? So again, you're going to look at the line plot and see which column has the highest amount of X's. So which one is the tallest, okay? And which one is the shortest? So you're looking for the biggest and the smallest lines. And then you're going to find out how many more children lost 6 teeth than 4 teeth. So you're going to look at 6 teeth and 4 teeth for this one, okay? And if you feel like it, you can answer C, but I'm not going to make you do that if you don't want to. But what else can you know from the line plots? You can write anything you want or you can leave it blank. That's an optional question, okay? So this one is up to you. And that's it. So you're only going to be doing those questions for me today. So just page 104 and 105, question 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remember, you don't have to do C and D on page 105, number 3. And then you're going to answer question 1 and question 2 on page 106 and 107. Okay? And that is it. That is all of your work for today. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Just send me a message and I will be more than happy to help you with your data work. Have fun.